What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Damage Control. Hope that all of you guys are having a good weekend as I'm recovering from a late night party with my friend Jesse and actually with one of our viewers here, Miami Sound Machine, who just joined us. So good morning. And today, again, for those that are watching live on Twitch, we're going to kind of be at it here for about 30-40 minutes or maybe an hour. Who knows how long? Hopefully not too long. But basically, we're going to kind of go into the Friday blog post. I had a lot of information coming out with the Young Avengers and about CLOAK's release, as he's going to become a new farmable character. And also the second half of the video that we'll also go into and release later during the week onto YouTube is going to be the war instincts. And I'm going to kind of get an in-depth kind of show as far as how I go about planning on setting up a war offense and then how that trickles down into what's left over for war defense. So yeah, definitely stay tuned on that, guys. But let's welcome the gentleman to the show here. Starting off with Darth. How are you doing, Darth?
Good, very good. Good morning.
Good. And Menace, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm all right, man. Thank you for asking.
All right, good, man. Glad to have you, buddy. So yeah, we'll jump right into the blog post here. So so I'm going to just summarize it here. I'm going to kind of highlight some of the key points of interest towards me that just kind of stuck up onto my personal radar here. But yeah, Kate Bishop is the next character. She was part of that silhouette that we were sharing during the last show. And so prior to that, Echo was the one that got announced last Friday. So now you got the 5 complete Young Avenger team here. So I'm not going to go into the whole backstory on the blog here. That just kind of talks about her personal story. But the key thing that I look at first, especially now, because where we're at in the game, a lot of individual side of things is planning on DD5. And with that is kind of correlates to your daily Doom raids. And on the Doom raids, as you're doing with your Alliance, the big one that everybody runs into is like that tech area. So when you see Kate Bishop, she has the tech trait that could help out for your Doom raid. May or may not. We'll see that as some of the other content creators get into it. And then she has the global trait, and that's towards DD5 planning. So that's kind of where I pause. I kind of look at that to see like, okay, is that going to be good? And then it goes into all her abilities. But I'll stop just let the gentleman kind of get a take real quick off of here. Starting with Darth. Did you kind of jump into her or see anybody as far as posts, videos, or anything talk about Kate Bishop? Are you going to start gearing her up, like testing her for the Doom raid?
My initial instinct says yes, but I just brought T'Challa and Ravager Stitcher up to the proper amount, and I'm one-shotting the Doom tech boss node with them now, like pretty consistently. So I'm not in big need anymore for a tech solution. I'm gonna level her up anyway for war defense, and I'm sure that I'll try her out. But I don't have a huge need for her right this minute in the tech lane.
Yeah, gotcha. And how about for you, Menace? How are you doing on the Doom tech?
I'm getting through, but honestly, my lane partner is hitting the boss before I am. So I just got to get through it for the first 2 nodes.
Yeah.
It's still a struggle. It's not a guarantee, but I'm able to get through them.
Okay. So I'm going to pause. I'm going to jump onto the gameplay side of things real quick. And mainly just kind of show what we're talking about as far as the tech characters. And I think Darth kind of hit a really important point as far as with the Ravagers coming out. And we're going to have a lot to say about them, especially during War Instincts. That's a lot of where the resources are starting to go towards. So especially with T'Challa, right? He has a tech trait. So like you said, if you're gearing him up, which you gave me a little bit slack on not having them at 12 or something like that, but now I finally got him to G15 Darth, so that's where he's sitting at.
Great job, Mookie.
Yeah, I got him going. And then, of course, the other Ravagers, they have some tech traits too, so you're going to kind of get in that pinch, similar to like the Web Warriors with the bio traits and stuff like that, so be pretty selective. The only thing that I would say in regards to going back into Kate Bishop is that with her tech trait and thinking about Doom, the main thing is it's like she has a long cooldown in regards to her ultimate, and I think that's like kind of the big ability that she has in regards to like using this particular charge where she applies blind for 2 turns to the enemy with the highest damage and so forth. Like this is like her big meaty feature that she has. But again, it's a 5, it's a 5 energy cost. So that's going to take some time as far as having that go. And plus, the other thing is her speed, like her turn meter and the turn order that you go into. She's one of the slower people. So I would kind of personally, because of all of that, and like what Darth said, I mean, you got T'Challa and some other characters that was on that roster list that you can kind of just gear her up, but don't really overinvest into it, in my opinion. So the next thing as we go into it, now they do start talking about the stat increases that's going to happen to complete the other 3 Young Avengers. So American Chavez is going to get the boost stats right over here. I'm not going to go into all the math formula side of stuff, but basically just know that she's getting boosted. But I know prior to us recording here, this is the big one right here of Darth's interest. It's on her passive, the new update on her passive ability, in which she is on spawn, on ward defense, on spawn, she's going to fill the speed bar by 25% for the adjacent allies. So what's your theory, or what's your, I guess you can say like theory crafting in your mind, what you want to do with that, Darth?
There's so much to be given because it's to any adjacent ally. It's not to Young Avenger allies. It's not to hero allies. It's to any ally that's on war defense. So that means for me personally that by the time the patch drops on Tuesday or Wednesday, I plan on having that ability right there available for her, even if it's the T4 into it. I'm going to bring her up from level 1 to 65 or 70 so that I can make sure that happens, and I'll gear her appropriately so that she doesn't just immediately die. But that's a huge thing. If you set her next to the Eternals,
I was just popping
there's
up the
hardly going to be a team where you can outspeed the Eternals now.
Yeah,
because what if they put Icarus and Cersei and put her and put America Chavez between them, and then they also have Emma? There's no way you're outspeeding that team. It's just not happening. So you're going to have to beat that team another way.
You just hit on everything I wanted to relate to Menace, because right now you and I, Darth, we're using them on offense, but Menace does have the Eternals on defense. So Menace, when you hear the news about with your current defense, in which Darth kind of already was theorycrafting with using Emma, you do have Emma with them right now, don't you?
I do.
And then
so
what's your take on this? Are you going to plug in Chavez?
I don't think I have a choice. That's kind of like too good of a stat not to.
That's a god tier ability for war defense. Like it's so huge. It's way bigger than I thought it would ever be. Like I said, it brought America Chavez to it. Well, you better get her useful before Tuesday. And look at you're ready to go.
That's what would be my next question with Menace. Where you have her at? Do you know what level you have your American Chavez?
Quite literally what you're staring at right now.
Really? Okay, good. Okay. So yeah, definitely that passive ability is going to be added on here during the new patch. And they didn't have a date on when the patch is going to roll out, but I'm guessing it feels as if it's going to happen this week. If I were to guess, normally the patch is in the middle of the week. Is that what you heard too, Darth? Or?
Yeah, that's the feel. I have heard nothing concrete, but that's the feel from everybody that it will be this Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah. So that's interesting. Definitely be ready to start theory crafting. I'm sure you're going to see some other hybrids with Chavez right now before the other 2 characters come out to complete the Young Avengers. So she's definitely a person that's going to start going into the war defense side of things once that patch rolls out and when she has that passive ability in place.
Even if you stand her next to Silver, there's so much theory crafting going there. Stand her next to Silver Surfer. Mm-hmm. Stand her next to Coulson and Silver Surfer on that damn Inhumans team. Make everybody bust off so fast. There's so many things you can do with that passive.
Yeah. All right, so we'll jump out of that. So that's the big news coming up in regards to her ability. Let me see what else. So then they had Squirrel Girl, and then this is her stats right there. Nothing too special that kind of came across the radar, other than she's just going to be more like the healer, the cleanser. There's a lot of stuff that she's going to be doing with clearing negative effects and so forth, like on both sides, going against the other. Like her special right here, she's gonna clear the negative effects before healing.
That's a huge deal too.
Yeah,
because now the blind won't affect her, and the heal blocks won't affect anybody.
Yep. So she's interesting. And then I think I already passed up the Miss Marvel, but anyways, we'll just keep jumping onto it here. So the next part of really that we'll stop into looking at the blog post notes is going to be in regards to this mirror image event. Now this is where they break down how they're going to release Echo. So again, that's still within the the subject here with Young Avengers. So once that patch rolls out, which again I think it's going to be like Wednesday, sometime middle part of the week. I think within a day or two right after that is when this event's going to start. So normally when these events start, like these big 2-week events, the tendencies are usually towards the later of the week, whether it be like on Thursday or Friday. And yes. I think that's kind of towards the end of this week is probably where you'll see Echo start coming out. Because they're already showing, how they're releasing her. They're already talking about how to earn these imprint currencies. So it's very similar to like the Shang-Chi and Lady Deathstrike events, where you got the milestone going on, and then you got that event store where you can purchase. In this case, it's going to be the imprints to go ahead and maybe buy her shards, buy Teal gear, buy whatever else. So that's kind of the theory within this release right here. That's going to start happening soon. Now, what they did add to the event, which is interesting, I wanted y'all's take off of this, is that they're going to have a ranked leaderboard in regards to the milestone. So this one right here, it's very similar to like our Blitz, leaderboard that we'll talk about as well. But here, they're going to have a leaderboard, and they're going to have, I guess, depending on how high you are up on that, you'll get some Teal uniques and so forth. So any thoughts off of this release here for you, Darth? Are you excited about it?
Yeah. This is one of the better methods to get character shards for brand new characters. It's more free to play friendly than a lot of stuff. Like, I'm not free to play, but like free to play shards still matter to me. It's shards I don't have to buy. So I think that it's another good event. I like that it's tied to Blitz, and since I've been blitzing so hard, and it hasn't been such a chore since I changed my Blitz lineup, and it's been a lot more fun for me. I'm kind of excited about it. I might push hard, at least for the first couple, to see what kind of leaderboard I can maybe get on.
Yeah. And how about for you, Menace? What's your thinking about the Young Avengers and Echo? Are you ready for this event?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always excited for a new team and anything Blitz related I get into, but I still have to update my roster like you guys. You guys are putting up too much numbers since that guy did that thing out.
The Pathfinder? Yeah, man. Pathfinder.
Shout out Pathfinder Gaming, my hero.
Yeah, definitely. So let's go on to the next section here. So this is just kind of concluding about like bonus events. So with that milestone release method there, you're going to get the opportunity to get double drops as far as the campaign energies and ISO energies, and even with the training modules. So throughout the weeks, you'll get some notices there. Now, the big one right here that I kind of saw is that also on the raid side of things, they're going to do that 20% cost reduction for raid energy and heals. So any of the lines are out there kind of pushing for 100% clearance and so forth. Definitely take advantage of that opportunity. That's going to allow you guys, if you have to, reheal or do stuff like that with your energy, you'll get a cost reduction on that particular day.
When does that say that was? Because I want us to do that this week.
It doesn't give the dates yet, but I'll definitely keep an eye out for that. Yeah, it doesn't give a date, but obviously it's going to come time within the next week or two. Let's see what else. And this other one right here where I kind of slowed down. I was happy about this blog post. I was super excited. We'll talk about some of the things missing. I'll let Darth talk about that because he's already brought it up on a previous video. But this one right here, they brought up about the release for CLOAK. He's going to go ahead and start going into the raid store here starting on February 1st, which is this Tuesday. And it's a big deal for me in regards to this because this is one of the characters that I really want to start using into DD5 as part of my planning. So to be able to have access of leveling his star levels up and purchasing him through the raid store credits there for 1,400 a piece, it's huge news for me. Do you happen to know, Menace, where do you know where you have your CLOAK at? Do you know what level?
She's 14, but I'm getting him to 15 because I'm gonna do what you did, which is bring him in the DD5. So yeah. He's impressive.
I'm popping him up to the screen here. How about for you, Darth, where you have your CLOAK at?
He's 5-star, 5 red, gear tier 15. He's not all cool like yours. That's one of the few characters that you got that just puts mine to shame. So really good job on that, man. I like that. You're braver than me sticking on all that gear.
I had to. It's just they're too solid. Like they're like in a lot of the raids still. Like, so like we'll kind of talk about that in the second part after the blog post.
So we'll say something though. I'm looking at both of our screens simultaneously on my screen right now, and you're literally only 11,000 points more than me for being gear tier 16 instead of gear tier 15 with no gear pieces put on.
Yeah, and
we have the exact same T4s and the exact same ISO level and ISOs and everything. So an exact same star level.
Yeah, because his stats, I mean, he's not like that multiplier is going to really hit. I noticed that he's kind of the weaker one that you target like on war. If you're facing against him in war, you can kind of get him out before CLOAK. I mean, before Dagger. But
Dagger's the big threat.
Yeah.
CLOAK's there to keep Dagger alive till her second turn.
Yeah, and he's pretty slow to get his turns off. But anyways, but like as far as him being released, I definitely am. I'm 20 away to getting him to that 6-star level. And definitely going to continue going hard as far as using him on the 7th-star level, and just kind of showing you guys about the raid store. It's right over here, and you can see how much currency I got. 451. So I'll be able to. Yeah. You know what? And every time I go into this section of the store, I've always been meaning to ask you guys, and I'm gonna just use this opportunity to ask
Aaron
you.
Carter 7-star?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
Yeah, no, everybody is 7 stars. Believe me, I'm not hoarding from like shards. I told you, I wouldn't do that.
See, the thing is you just have way more than me because you hoard it. So like I'm always buying SBCs out of that store.
That's what I was gonna ask you. What do you buy? So you do the same thing, Menace?
Help SBCs, or because you never have enough SBCs. There's always somebody you got to.
Well, unless you're Mookie, you never have enough SBCs.
How are you sitting on 22,000 SBCs right now? What the hell?
He doesn't have that many Gear 15 characters.
Correct.
Like he doesn't do. Even like he keeps up but doesn't. Like I have every member of my Weapon X is Gear Tier 15. That's a lot of SBCs. Well, Mookie's been a little more selective, and he just took Lady Deathstrike up. Well, you just took her up to 16 actually.
Yeah.
But he's got some of the characters at a lesser star level than I do, or not lesser star level, a lesser gear level than I do, and his team is working just fine. He's just some would say he's smarter, and some would say that I just go too fast, and Mookie's far smarter with his resources than I am.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna say I'm having more fun than Mookie.
No, I'm having fun too.
Leveling my characters and seeing the max and stuff like that.
Talking about here's the Lady Deathstrike. So she's the other one I got to G16. Nice. So I got 3 out of 5 so far as on my G16 level. Hell, since we're talking about it, that's actually one I wanted to jump out of. Let me.
There you go. There's a lot of SBCs right there on Wolverine, maybe.
Yeah.
And Sabretooth. Like, so you see, there's a few thousand probably between the 2 characters you got right there. So, and if we do that multiplied by 10 times across our rosters, there's your SBCs.
Mm-hmm. We'll jump back into that real quick, but just wrap up the blog post. So that's basically it. I mean, that's where my excitement level is. Over here, they start at, the weekly events. They start talking about the, I guess this is kind of prepping up for like the Phoenix event where they're going to have a double shard drop for the Mystic controllers. And then here's Phoenix dropping out on I guess on today, maybe? Oh, no, tomorrow. On January 31st is where her event comes in. And the key thing off of that, everyone keeps wondering, okay, when's the next Omega Red gonna come? And it feels like it's coming. I mean, who knows? But that's kind of what people have been waiting to see, or some type of news, and it still hasn't leaked out yet on these blog posts. So I guess technically, if it's not on this blog post about Omega Red, you probably have to wait till the next week or so. Let's see what else. Here's the Blitz. So the Blitz that are gonna be coming out, the first part of the week is gonna be Killmonger, and then the second part of the Blitz is going to be the second round of Star-Lord T'Challa. And I'm going to just jump right into that to kind of, in this first video here. Let's talk about the T'Challa. And I'm going to start over here with you, Menace. So on the Blitz, I know everybody's been kind of busy throughout the week. I had a busy night and so forth. Have you been able to kind of go into your 8 rotations per day, or how's everything going for you?
I'm kicking myself on this. I'm only like 30 mil. Like I said, this week just rocked me.
Yeah, no, it's all about timing, though. We understand that. But at least the second opportunity is going to come out next week. But you're about 30 mil right now?
Yeah.
Okay. And then how about for you, Darth? Where you at?
I've hit every rotation, and I have 4 more to go, and I am at 53.5 million.
Yeah. So the big thing off of this is that, as you can tell, the numbers, like I'm at 49 right here, so you guys can see my screen. And I missed some rotations last night, but I'm gonna go pretty hard to try to complete all my 8 as best as I can. If not, I'll start using some of these blitz. Or I am gonna use the blitz energy there and do whatever I got to do to maximize it. But I'm really thinking, like, I forgot where the spreadsheet was, or like the little, what is it called, the or like the guess, the estimate as far as how many points you need. Yeah, the prediction. There you go, for like the top 1% or the top 100. I want to say it was around 55 million. Do you guys happen to remember which prediction was? I know I have it. I can pull it up real quick.
I pulled it up right now. It says that the average for 1% is 54.1 on their predictions.
Yeah.
But it depends on what everybody did. I've raised my score by over 5 million from 2 weeks ago when I blitzed hard, just with this change
Yeah.
in my roster. So if everybody did that, then all the scores are going to go up, according to TCP, if everybody puts in the same effort. But
Yes.
I assume that lots of people didn't do that, because it took me years to do that. I thought it was just fine.
Yeah. No, it's. But that number you got, that you talked about, 5 million, that's where I think that the score is going to be about, to get in the top, to be safe in the top 1%, it's going to be about that high 55 to 60 million range.
Yeah, I would say it's going to be damn near 60.
Yeah. So this is an interesting one here. And so we kind of talked about, shout out to Pathfinder again, because this is really a mirror image as far as like where I set up my roster lineups through. The only adjustments that I did was with when T'Challa came out. I just added him with the Ravagers. But other than that, I mean, everything is. I mean, it's been working beautifully. I mean, I can sometimes go into these 37 team rotations without any losses. Have you experienced that yet, Darth?
I don't think I've done it without it. It seems like my mercenaries lose a lot. My Inhumans lose a lot. There's a few teams that are. It's funny, they're the set teams that are not the broken up weird teams with the carries, and those teams are losing a little bit. That team, my Pimtech team, loses. That really depends on the match. That's one of those ones I've really got to go through and look at the match, which is the other thing that I've changed. Now I have been a lot more particular about which battles I choose, and I've been a lot more point picky, as in like I will make sure that even at my lower levels I'm going for the highest amount of points possible that I think I can win. I don't do any battles on manual. And my scores would probably improve if I did a little bit, because that makes those, like, there I lose with my X-Force all the time. That team you had on there now.
Yeah, that's why I paused, because that's kind of where I have difficulties. It's usually just on a matchup situation. If you get lucky with like a really unsynergized team, you can get that victory.
Or you get a hand team with a great big hand. Anybody, that's usually what I'm looking for with a team like that. It's weird because they're great on war, but it's all about that speed. They need all that extra speed and stuff to get going.
Yeah, definitely. All right, but stepping away from, it's funny, this one, my hand team actually gets some victories because of that Doom. It's brilliant.
Well, it's not the hand team.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a Doom. That's like Eternals and New Warriors on defense. Sorry, that's not a New Warriors team. That's an Eternals team. Just like that. That's Doom. You can put Doom with anybody.
Well, I thought it was,
and this is where
I thought it was my 7 Red Star, Blade Master here that.
Ooh, I didn't even notice that. That's hot. It's probably it's that and your sentry there, making everybody go poof and disappear.
Yeah. All right. So then we'll kind of end it in regards to this whole thing. As I really wanted to take this time to kind of status check with you guys as far as where you're at within your planning. We're talking about a little bit as far as like with the tech, with the Ravagers and so forth. But jumping over to you, Menace, when you're week to week, when you're kind of loading into the game and you're going through your farming and so forth, especially at the reset when you got like, at least for me, that's how I take it. Like once a milestone, refreshes, then that's when I start spending my gold that I hoard and so forth. But anyways,
you're up at 0.3. Nice job, Mookie.
No, man, I'm stretching it. See that? I'm like, nah, I can't spend another 10,000 yet. No, but anyways, but yeah, so Menace, when you jump into it, like who is it that you immediately start thinking about upgrading? Do you have any particular characters or teams?
So I'm doing a little side love into the Ravagers now. I'm still farming Captain Sam just because he's a farmable character for me. I also still pulling biomats for my little side uh, Fantastic Four thing, and to finish up the last of the Web Warriors to get them in there.
Gotcha. Okay. And then how about for you, Darth? How do you jump in there? What particular characters are you looking to start gearing?
When I'm gearing characters right now, I'm gearing up my Ravagers. So that's who I'm gearing right now. And I am actually looking to gear for the next few days. I'm going to put the Ravagers on the side, and I'm going to get America Chavez up to a usable level.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I'm gonna have to start doing that too.
You're there. You're at the usable level.
Yeah, but I guess what I mean, like, start getting that little gold banner, the G13 or G14. I'll start looking at it, but it's kind of tight because she is a bio. She does have the bio trait, so obviously those that have been the wrong one, but those have been like farming up on the Web Warriors would notice. So I'm sorry, she's Mystic, so take that back. I got all the currency for that. I was thinking about the other ones. We were kind of talking off air, but a lot of the young Avengers in general had the bio trait. But now looking at that, seeing as she's Mystic, I'm gonna be ready to go to start gearing her up pretty good. But yeah, for me personally, I've been doing the same thing. Been looking at the Ravagers mainly because of our war offense, and there's just tons of different videos that are out there about like how you can use them on different counters and how you can hybrid them with plugging in other characters, mix matching them against some of the meta defenses and so forth. So it's interesting. So that they're one, but this is the one thing that I would kind of, we'll get more in depth about the counters and usage of them during our War Instincts video. But the one that I would talk about on the farming aspect, at least for me, and this is just like, y'all give me, a little bit of I want to say shit talking. It's not shit talking, but y'all, give me a little hard time about how I hang on to my resources. And I am. So this is what I'm bringing up. Is that I'm still being mindful. I'm going to stay true to my personal form about not overspending on them across the board. But what I am going to do, what I would highly suggest that from my experiences, you want to, these first three right here in line are the ones that you want to gear up first. T'Challa for sure, because he is more the individual plug-in, plug-out player that can go with different teams, especially on like Darth was talking about, like on the Doom rate. And he's possibly going to be another guy to go ahead and use onto the DD5. The biggest thing about T'Challa is this ability right here, right? The special, where you're able to go ahead and steal the ability energy when the target has blind on it. And that's the only character that steals ability energy. And that's going to kind of, because that's a unique feature for him, that's going to make him go a long term. Thus is why you see me gearing him up to the G15. And I'm on the fence if I'm going to put to 16 level. But anyways, but then the next ones right here, I highly suggest is going to be Yondu and Stitcher. Now with Stitcher, I notice on one of your screenshots, actually, I should be bringing it up here in a second. Well, I'll do it right now. You send me over here this one screenshot. And, well, that's out of focus on that view. We'll leave it right here. But I believe, let's see. Yeah, you got the striker ability on your Stitcher, Darth. You want to explain why you got striker on him?
Because it's the piercing damage that he does. It's the not able to regenerate, and that's included in his ISO attack. And you need, honestly, you need strikers on that team. Because as much as I want to make Star-Lord T'Challa a striker, I'd rather him land that blind every time and steal that energy, because that's what he's supposed to do, which is why he's a skirmisher there. And you want skirmisher on Boomer because he's going to assist on all your non-Ravager minions' turns, so T'Challa and Yondu, and that way when Yondu goes, it'll be a triple attack. But yeah, so the Stitcher, he's got high damage. I don't have him there yet. Like, I might bring him to gear 16 because he's so cheap and he's 6 red. But I've seen videos of McMole deleting a Doom with defense down with the Stitcher on the second hit. Like, it's like 500k damage on the first one, and it's the amount of damage he does is ridiculous. And if you have him with T'Challa and Yondu or whatever, one of T'Challa's moves is going to give the whole team defense down, and if he's got defense down, it pretty much just nukes a Doom. So that's why I've put so much into him.
Have you seen that, Menace? Any of the videos yet as far as how Stitcher is knocking out Doom?
No, but I've been hearing through the grapevine about everything, about how well this team has been playing. So that's why I've been making them my little side project, getting them up.
Yeah, definitely. Because I know, especially with the three of us, we love that war game mode. So when we get into the war situations, this is definitely going to become one of the top 3, 5. I don't know. But they're basically going into the top 5 war offensive teams out there. So the more you invest into them, the stronger you can, definitely start punching up or going against the meta teams. But I can notice right here, just looking at Darth's screen, yeah, he has those top 3 characters that I was kind of talking about. So definitely continue to focus on the Ravagers. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty good. But I'm gonna go ahead and end the video in regards to that, because that's going to kind of segue us into talking about more about the war, in which I believe I do have some video that I'll show that I use with my war team. We'll talk about the different hybrids you can use with them or keeping them as the set team here. But definitely keep an eye out for that video. That would be late on Wednesday. But those that are here with us on Twitch, y'all definitely go ahead and start hearing about that conversation. So till then, we'll catch you on another episode of those damage control. But enjoy y'all's week.
Be safe out there.
Yep.